afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today. Today, I'm very honored and privileged to have joining me four distinguished members, past and present, of our school committee. As mayor, I serve as chairman of the school committee, and it's a wonderful role because there's nothing more important we do in government outside of public safety than providing education for our kids. And the four people standing behind me have taken that very seriously during their careers and have always put the kids first. So I'm grateful for them being here today. I'm grateful for their support as we continue to move this city forward, moving our education system forward, providing outstanding facilities, and providing outstanding programs so that every kid has a chance to succeed. So at this time, no stranger to the education community, I'd like to have Bragg come up.
I became involved in the public school system in the 1980s when my children started attending. Through my involvement at the PTO level, I was a key leader in the reopening of the Wollaston School, and soon after, the Beechwood Knoll School. As former president of the Citywide Parents Council, I created their first maintenance subcommittee to study the needs of our schools. In the 1990s, Mayor Sheets appointed me to serve on the School Building Needs Task Force, where we again analyzed the needs of all of our schools. And we presented a plan to fill those needs, which included a new Quincy High, Central Middle School, and Sterling. As a former vice chair of the school committee, I lobbied for improvements to our schools. I am thankful to Mayor Koch for recently securing the necessary funds from the state to resolve many of these maintenance issues, such as new windows and energy-efficient heating systems. I've served on the school committee for 16 years, and I've worked with many different mayors and many elected officials. I believe to be an effective elected official, a person needs to be a leader, and they need to know how to work with many different types of personalities. It is by working together that good things happen. I support Mayor Koch because he can work cooperatively with others to bring about positive change in our city. The Central Middle School project was stalled until Mayor Koch got elected. He worked cooperatively with state and school officials to turn the project around and secure the highest state reimbursement at that time. A long-awaited project was finally built, saving the taxpayers money because we came in under budget and in less time than most schools were built. And Central Middle School, which is right here, is Massachusetts' first state-of-the-art model middle school. After many years of disagreement in politics, the track project was also stalled. And Mayor Koch showed leadership by presenting a viable plan to the neighborhood, the school committee, and the city council. And today the city has a great track enjoyed by many students and residents for a good part of the year. I have one last issue to mention. When I began on the school committee 16 years ago, caring for the school grounds and the maintenance of our schools were all part of the school budget. Today, it's not like that. The school committee mostly gets to deal with educational issues. Caring for the grounds has been moved to the park department, and Mayor Koch created a combined city maintenance department, which has allocated more funds to these areas than in the past, but all outside of the school budget, so that the school budget is all used for educational issues. It has been an honor and a privilege to work with Mayor Koch, and I look forward to many more years of doing that to bring positive change to our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne, so much. You certainly left your mark on the system. Our next speaker is Emily Lebo. Emily served a term with us on the school committee, but more than that, she was with our system for over 20 years. Lifelong educator and knows the issues as good as anybody. Emily, thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. My history with the Quincy Public Schools began when my oldest son entered kindergarten and I joined the PTO. I stayed involved with the PTOs at 3 different schools as my 3 sons grew and thrived in the district. As a young parent, I joined the Quincy Public Schools as a classroom teacher and worked for 21 years, moving from teacher, department head, building administrator to the central office. I continued working in education in the Boston Public Schools for an additional 8 years and spent 4 years in the Quincy School Committee. And I now have 4 children who are enrolled in attending our elementary schools. I'm a lifelong educator, and as such, I have worked with many administrations over the course of my career. And I am here today to endorse Tom Koch for mayor. There are many reasons for this endorsement, but I want to highlight just two. The school committee has always worked in subcommittees for important but ancillary purposes like policy, facilities, and budget. When I joined the school committee, I was dismayed that there was no real discussion about teaching and learning going on, which is what I see as the primary mission of our schools. Working with Mayor Koch, we were able to put together a subcommittee on teaching and learning, which changed things from a report out from the district about what was happening in education in our schools to a real dialogue. I thank Mayor Koch for understanding, supporting, and encouraging this very significant change. The second reason I am here is that I have to credit Mayor Koch's leadership in fostering a collaborative, respectful, and productive environment that allowed the most recent teacher contract negotiations to move forward smoothly. Mayor Koch's leadership and demeanor ensured that all parties felt valued and were able to communicate and work together for the benefit of our students, our staff, and our schools. This not only allowed the building of a contract that all parties were proud of, but also set the tone for most other contract negotiations in our city. As the city starts to prepare for contract negotiations again, I want Tom Koch in the mayor's office. Thank you.
Our next speaker is a current school committee member. I first met Barbara many years ago when she was working on the PTO at Beechwood Knoll School, and I was the park commissioner, and we worked together to do some improvements in the grounds and have become good friends and respect the work she's done and the talent and gift she's brought to the committee with her legal background and her love and knowledge of the system as well. So, Barbara Isola.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barbara Isola, and I'm here to support Tom Koch for mayor. As Tom said, I got to know him as a parent trying to plant shrubs around Beechwood Knoll School. Tom always treated us parents who came begging for mulch and bushes with the utmost amount of respect, understanding that we were trying to do what we thought was right for our children in our school system. Many years have passed, and for the past 6 years, I've been a member of the Quincy School Committee and have had the privilege of working with Mayor Koch in that capacity. There are many issues we address to improve the education that we provide to our students. Mayor Koch is an active and engaged member of our body. His door is open, and he is always interested in hearing our concerns, and he assists in finding solutions to those concerns. There are so many examples of this, and some of them have been detailed by the other speakers. But let me give you one example. When we as a school committee were really concerned about addiction and the opiate problem that's plaguing this community and so many other communities, Mayor Koch ensured that we had the funds to hire 2 health interventionists to assist at our high school. That's huge. This is a problem that we've been really trying to address. We also have had issues with technology where the mayor has stepped up to make sure that our children have the best that's available for them. And he's always made sure that we keep our class size low so our children can learn the best they can. It's my privilege to support Mayor Koch because Mayor Koch cares about our education system. Thank you.
And batting cleanup, which is kind of appropriate for the sports guy here. Paul Bregoli I've known for a long time. Let's go back to the North Quincy High days when I was watching my sister play basketball under his, at that time, he was a little more wild tutelage. I can think of some other words, Coach. Loves the kids, has done a great job, lifelong educator, and come back to serve on the school committee, brings another different insight and a set of talent to the committee, and we're grateful for your service, Paul. Paul Bregoli.
Thank you, Mayor Koch. It's been my honor to have served in the Quincy Public Schools for 34 years, and in the last 3.5 years on the school committee. as the elder statesman of this group, I can say unequivocally that the facilities and for athletes have made great gains under Mayor Koch's administration. After many years of disagreement and politics on the stalled track project, Mayor Koch showed leadership by presenting a viable track plan to the neighborhood, the school committee, and the city council. The city now has a great track used by both students and residents for all to enjoy, rivaling all of those that are in the Patriot League in which I coach. Sometimes leadership requires a person to make difficult decisions. The mayor has been criticized, and I might add unfairly, for his decisions to take houses on Hunt Street to provide North Quincy High School and the citizens of Quincy with a combination soccer, football, and lacrosse facility, which has been desperately needed in the north end of the city for the past 30 years. Other mayors had the opportunity to take land when DiMatteo Construction went under. Rather than make a decision which could have benefited the students in this area, the city chose to sell to private entities. So now we have Panera and Applebee's. This mayor had the courage to move forward with this, just like he has with many other projects. Next season, the soccer teams at North Quincy High School will no longer have to travel across the city to practice. No longer will field space availability be an issue for students and the general public. In addition, with the additional funding provided by the mayor, we will be putting back 3 sports at the middle school: swimming, wrestling, and tennis, with the hope of more to come in the near future. As a member of the Park and Recreation Board, I have witnessed firsthand the vision and wisdom of the mayor as he addresses much-needed issues that were once ignored by previous administrations. I have served this community and its children in some capacity for the last 50 years, although I don't look that old. It is with great pride that I endorse Mayor Koch for all he has done for the young people in the city of Quincy.
I'm truly humbled by the support of these 4 outstanding citizens of our city who love the children and love our school system so dearly. So I'm grateful, truly grateful for your support here today. We're going to continue to work hard. We're going to continue to bring people together. We're going to continue to move our school system forward as we provide the best education possible. And you know, anytime I talk about education publicly, I always talk about our teachers, because it's really our job to set policy. It's our job to provide the tools, the resources. But at the end of the day, it's the leadership of our superintendent's team, the principals, our teachers mostly, and all the professional staff that support what goes on in that classroom. So to our teachers and all those involved in education, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for all you do. So I thank you for being here today. Again, I thank the support of my colleagues. And on to November 3rd.